Well, it's not a matter of a surprise. It's the judge has basically made it very clear that there was no conflict and ordered the individual to pay $10,000 in costs. I mean, to me, that's the end of that. And the reality is, let's just keep doing what we're doing, making Winnipeg a great city to live, work, play, and invest in. And we got lots of work to do at the City Hall.
The judge didn't let you. The judge didn't let you off the hook. The judge did say that Mr. Katz is guilty of bad political and ethical behavior. How do you respond to that? Like, she didn't totally let you off the hook with her comments.
What I have been told is that she specifically said that there was no conflict of interest.
She actually didn't say that, Mr. Mayor. She actually said she wasn't sure Section 16 of the Act applied, and she wasn't prepared, essentially, given the discretion under Section 21 to make the declaration that it was to spark an election, then went on to say what Mr. Keel just said, that you were guilty of bad ethical behavior.
And I'll repeat one more time. I've been informed, as you know, I wasn't there, that she has very clearly stated there was no conflict of interest. I actually read it in one of the papers, so it must be accurate.
Well, she actually didn't say that, Mr.
Well,
Mayor. We were all there.
Are you? I mean, yes, the judge has said that the legislation doesn't apply in this case. But are you concerned, Mr. Mayor, though, that going forward, you know, you're eyeing another term, that this case, you know, might put a dent in any of your plans to possibly run again?
You know, here's what I can tell you. The one thing that came out of this was I was absolutely amazed at the number of emails and texts and phone calls that I got from the public on this topic, saying that they were very, you know, displeased with what was going on here and their letters of support, etc. So from my point of view, it's now history. We just move forward.
Are you worried though that, you know, a lot of these comments from the judge, like that's
No,
just one of two?
no. I mean, the end result, it's not a conflict of interest. That's the bottom line.
So why did you decide not to go to court today?
As you know, I didn't go to court the prior scenario, and I'm here at City Hall doing work. I think that's where citizens will want me, working at City Hall.
Are you happy that, you know, because obviously I'm sure in your mind that this was a frivolous suit, are you happy that the judge slapped Mr. Chan with a $10,000 court cost? I mean, Mr. Tapper was asking for more, but he did slap him with a $10,000 court cost. So are you pleased that happened?
I'm not a matter of pleased or not pleased. That's really not for me to, you know, to make any comments on. That's up to the judge, but I have been told that that's a very significant amount.
I believe one of the comments was that, you know, the voters will make their own decision about how you behaved in the next election. I mean, what's your
I believe the
reaction to that?
voters decide every election.
Right. But do
On
you feel
all
like
elected
this will weigh
officials.
badly on you in the next election?
You know, here's the facts of life, and I've said this publicly before. I mean, from the day one that I was elected, you know, there were comments about conflict of interest regarding the Winnipeg Arena when I wasn't even the mayor. This is something that isn't new. It's kind of old, and I think the public has shown on 3 separate occasions. They judge you on what you get done for the city and how you're basically making the city a better place for them. And every politician is basically has to deal with those types of issues. It's the real issues of what's going on in City Hall. That's what's going on.
You're not chastened whatsoever by the fact you almost lost your mayorship over a Christmas party?
You know what? Once again, no conflict of interest. End of story.
So you're not going to answer that question.
So that being said, then, would you do this again? Would you have a Christmas party at a restaurant you owned and use office money? Would you do it again?
You know, I think, as you know, we've had Christmas parties many years. I've had them. The speaker has them. It's just, you know, it's pretty common to say thank you to the people who work for you very hard all year round.
And would it be worth risking your mayorship for that?
You know what? That's. I'm not going there, Bart. Sorry.
But we are. The justice did say
No,
you
you
were
are.
guilty.
You
of,
are.
No, the justice did say you were guilty of bad ethical behavior, and we'd like to know what you think of that comment.
I will say this one more time to everybody. Okay, you have your opinions, and I appreciate that. We don't always have to agree. The facts are that the judge has made a decision that there was no conflict of interest. The judge has ruled that $10,000 be paid in costs by Mr. Chan. That's the end of it, you guys.
But that's
Sorry.
not an opinion, because the judge did find that you had...
I know, but I'm talking about the ruling. That's the end of it. There's really not more to discuss after that.
So you want to ignore what the judge said about your ethical behavior and just focus on the...
No, what I'd rather do is do what a mayor and councillor should do, is basically work on behalf of the city as opposed to dealing with other nonsense. And that's really what I'm going to be doing.
So the judge's comment is nonsense?
No, I said other nonsense. That was your comment.
Well, I'm just curious to clarify, since you didn't want to react to what you said.
I'm not reacting to your comments.
They're the
Anything else?
judge's comments, not
Anything else other than Bart?
Did the city contribute to any of the legal costs in terms of paying for your lawyer in this case?
Haven't received the legal bill yet.
But are you paying for those legal costs yourself? or
When
is the
I
city-
get my legal bill, I usually pay for it. Well, actually, in this case, no. Mr. Chan will be paying for a large portion of it.
Is there any
But
part
thanks
of,
for asking.
is there any part of you that regrets having the Christmas party at your own restaurant? I mean, now that you've gone through all this, do you feel like maybe that is not the right call?
I think the actions that were taken were probably not the appropriate call. I think in any time in life, there might be better ways of doing things, but as I said to you before, I think we've had Christmas parties at City Hall just like everybody else does it as well. I think it's unfortunate that people chose to take the actions they took, but now that it's closed, we go on.